All right. Hamas reportedly has accepted the terms of a new ceasefire put forward by mediators from Arab countries. The New York Times is reporting the deal would see the release of Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners. That's according to two diplomats familiar with the negotiations and an Egyptian official. Unclear whether Israel would accept such a proposal, which also would allow for Israel to redeploy its forces into Gaza and allow for sufficient humanitarian aid to enter the territory. Two of those officials told the paper. Meanwhile, the Times also reports Israel has held talks with South Sudan on accepting Gazan refugees into that country. That's according to officials and people briefed on the discussions. South Sudan publicly has denied any involvement. Let's bring in NBC News international correspondent Matt Bradley, who joins us live from Tel Aviv. So, Matt, we hear from time to time, quite frequently actually, proposals, ceasefire deals, they tend to fall apart. What about this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been just soul-crushing watching these negotiations rise and all of the talk, all of the optimism, and then just to see them come crashing down. This really could be the same thing. And there's, nobody's using the word optimism anymore around these negotiations because they've just failed so frequently. Now, this one, given this Hamas approval that we heard about yesterday, it looks like the ball is very much in Israel's court. And we've been seeing a lot of internal division tearing apart at the fabric of this country here in Israel for just the past couple of days. NBC News spoke with Egyptian Foreign Minister Badr Abdel-Ati, who has been instrumental in presenting this proposal from the Egyptians that now Hamas has signed on to. We spoke to him really just about an hour ago, and here's what he told us about this proposal.
It has three main pillars. One is, of course, ceasefire for 60 days. And during this period of ceasefire, to start negotiations between Hamas and Israel for ending the war and having a sustainable ceasefire. The second pillar is, of course, to allow the flow of humanitarian and medical aid to Gaza as soon as possible to deal with the current starvation in process in Gaza. The third pillar is related to the release of hostages, 10 alive hostages, and around 18 bodies in return of release of specific numbers of Palestinian detainees.
So really what we're seeing here, guys, is a proposal that doesn't satisfy a lot of the requirements that have been set forward by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel, nor President Donald Trump, who posted on Truth Social that they have to finish the job against Hamas. And this is the central question, guys, that's splitting this country. We've seen protests over the past couple of days against Benjamin Netanyahu's plan to expand ground operations in the Gaza Strip because family members of the hostages who are still remaining there are worried that those expanded operations could harm their loved ones. And that's something that the Israeli government has said they're trying to take care of, but it looks as though there's already mobilization efforts to try to expand that operation in the Gaza Strip. Now, this whole thing, this whole proposal that has been approved by Hamas is now waiting on sign-off from the Israelis. And we heard already today that the Israelis are standing by their position that they will not end the fighting until Hamas is completely destroyed. So basically, it looks as though after a weekend of enormous protests that have clogged the streets here in Tel Aviv and in Jerusalem and cities throughout Israel, we're about to see whether Benjamin Netanyahu will cave to pressure from the streets, from angry people, from the family members of the hostages, and from the public who overwhelmingly say they want to see an end to the war immediately and the release of the hostages, even if that might not necessarily mean the full defeat of Hamas, or whether or not Netanyahu is going to cave to his far right, who have already said that they want to see this proposal essentially rejected. Guys?
NBC's Matt Bradley, live from Tel Aviv. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated, as always. Richard, there can be protests in the streets all they want. Benjamin Netanyahu's government hangs together by right-wing extremists. And by the way, if you look at the 3 to 4 most powerful parties in Israel right now, they're all right to far right. There is no center in Israel. There hasn't been a center in Israel since October 7th. We certainly understand the reaction to October 7th, but here we are with Israel continuing to do things that their own military leaders and intel leaders say are not in Israel's best interest, and they're walking into a quagmire. There's a reason they gave up Gaza before, but they're walking. So the question is, will Benjamin Netanyahu accept this ceasefire? The question answers itself, doesn't it?
I would think the odds highly unlikely he accepts it. When people talk about finishing the job against Hamas, Joe, that's simply a recipe for permanent war. You can never quite finish the job against an ideological, political, military terrorist organization.
And yet, that's exactly what Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump are saying. Finish the job.
That's a recipe for permanent war. Also, if you do want to ever marginalize Hamas, you need two things. It's what the British did in Northern Ireland. You need a military dimension. The Israelis have got that. You also need a political dimension. You have to sell Palestinians on the idea there's an alternative, better way to realize some of their political ambitions. That's what the British did in Northern Ireland with the Provisional IRA. The Israelis are refusing to put on the table a political dimension to their policy. So as a result, you cannot succeed against Hamas with a one-dimensional, military-only policy that is simply a formula. We'll have this conversation in 6 months.
But here's the difference, John, and Richard knows so much about, obviously, what happened in Northern Ireland. The difference here is with the Palestinians, you don't have players that are willing to come to the table. Hamas is still calling for the destruction of Israel. Even the Palestinian Authority, didn't condemn Hamas's slaughter of Jews on October the 7th. So you need a player. In Northern Ireland, there was Jerry Adams, and there were other, Martin McGuinness. There were people that would step forward and say, okay, we're going to take a chance for peace. I would go back to 2000 and say Bill Clinton managed an extraordinary deal for the Palestinians. Yasser Arafat wouldn't take it. The old saying is Palestinians never miss an opportunity to miss an opportunity. So that's one of the problems here is who do they negotiate with to come up with a deal like Northern Ireland?
Yeah, it's a diminished Palestinian Authority these days, too. And Richard, to that point, there could be a pressure posed from Washington, but President Trump seems not willing to do that. Right. That's what's changed here. His focus certainly has shifted more towards the Ukraine-Russia conflict. We did hear from him a few weeks ago, break with Netanyahu about the famine conditions in Gaza. More aid, not enough, but more aid went in after that. But otherwise, to Joe's point, he's sort of seeing almost like wash his hands of this and say, do what you need to do.
You're right, but he's right now the most popular guy in Israel. If Donald Trump wants to push the Israelis, he has more political power there, quite honestly, than anybody, including Bibi Netanyahu. And Joe, you're right. There isn't a Palestinian leader right now who's willing to play the role of Jerry Adams and Martin McGuinness when they turned away from violence. That's the challenge for the United States and Israel. Ought to be set out conditions so a new generation of Palestinian leaders begin to emerge, and Israel will say, we're willing to talk to you if you're willing to check these boxes, to accept these conditions. Sometimes,
and by the way, it starts with accepting Israel's right to exist
and giving up violence as a legitimate tool. That's the buy-in. If the Israelis are willing to do that, they can ultimately cultivate the emergence of someone they can negotiate with. They don't have them now, no argument. But that's the goal of diplomacy sometimes, to bring that about.
Richard Haass, spanning the globe for us this morning. Thanks, Richard.